want to welcome you back to another episode of Sailing Appalachia, where we discuss my mistakes. We film them when we can, but I don't carry a camera around with me on everything I do. So, and I make plenty of mistakes. So eventually, we'll probably get one mistake, that is. So what happened? I was moving the backhoe, and I caught one of the stays with the outrigger of the backhoe. If it's not chickens, it's hawks. I don't know what he's screaming about, but anyway, so yeah, I caught the, I don't know if you can hear that or not, but that's a loud hawk. So I caught the stay with the outrigger on the backhoe, and it pulled the mast off of my sawhorses and bent the spreader. So yeah, not cool. So I called Blue Water Yachts. That seems to be kind of the go-to for anything Macgregor. If you can't get it at Blue Water Yachts, then you're probably not going to find it unless it's used. I'm not sponsored by Blue Water Yachts. Like, I'm not sponsored by anybody with 300 subscribers. So point of fact is, that's just, you know, it is what it is. That's who I use. And the service is really good. I have no complaints with them whatsoever. And yeah, it comes from across the country for us here in West Virginia. So it got here in about 6-7 days. It's not bad. Got the spreader, installed it. Felt like crap. Trying to fix boats, not tear them up. So here's the video. Check it out. Use a thread, Mason's twine or something to put that back. I've got an idea there. Before I take this bent shroud off, replace it with a new one, I want to mark this stay cable so that I don't get this off any at all when I go to put it back. So simply take a Phillips head, loosen these together if you can. There we go. Once the tension's off of it, shouldn't be any big deal. A little more. I'll lift it by the cap here so it'll come loose. And of course, I'm breaking, let's see, the second worst rule. 1 is don't work over water. 2, don't work over grass. As you know where it ends up. Okay, it's a locking nut, so I'll probably need a wrench. No, the grip's tighter than I thought. So we'll take this loose, and like I just said, hey, dead spider. So I'll go get the new shroud and look for the missing acorn nut, and put the spreader back on. Well, I tore up all the grass. Well, it shouldn't be grass in the gravel anyway. And found the locking nut I lost. So the new spreader that came from Blue Water Yachts, which their service is amazing, by the way, did come with the hardware needed. So I'll take the old hardware, put it in a Ziploc bag, and label it appropriately. There's nothing wrong with having spare parts. All right, so I'm going to install this now. Take the broken tip piece out here, or end piece, and we'll put the new spreader in it. I'm even going to save, yeah, I know, junk collector, save this because I have other boats with smaller spreaders. I can always cut this down and use it if I damage another spreader. So what had happened is I had this mast up on sawhorses in storage beside the barn, and actually caught it with an outrigger on the side of the backhoe. So I started to hear something clang, turn around, there was the mast hooked to the backhoe. So of course I had a heart attack and a half. All right, ready to go. Let's replace that. So the 2 marks that I made earlier will tell me exactly, or show me exactly where to put this to replace it back. So, well worth the time. Tip. Just off. Just put it back away. Apart. I want to pull these down at the same time so I don't crack or split the plastic. And then simply return it back to where the other one was. Put this bolt back with the nut on the bottom. I don't know if that makes a difference, but I always try and put things back the way I found them, especially if I'm new to the boat, which I am to this Macgregor. So another 11 socket, so it don't have to take so long. Good last tightening turn. We're good to go. I'll put the mast. I'll put the boot back on it, but I want to clean it real fast. See if I can get it clean. I'm sure you don't want to watch that. Not too shabby. So it came out pretty clean, so time to put it back on. In case I need to find some good suitable twining, rope, thread to put this back, and I need to choose something that won't rot. So let's go start digging through the piles. Artificial sinew. It will not rot. I use it to stitch leather. It's made to look like deer sinew, but it's not. It's polyester, I think. But it's really good stuff. Hardest part about it is finding the end, but they were gracious enough to make that pretty easy. So, a knife. This has a tackiness to it, which makes it a whole lot easier to work with. It actually sticks back on itself. So we're going to tie a knot here, a simple granny. Slide it to the end. Tie another. Then to make it pretty, we'll hide the leftover and cut it off. Just wrap it, pull it tight. Not too tight, you don't want to deform the boot. The cool thing about this sinew is you can spread it out too, or you can strip it into thinner strands. And it can be picked up in any of the hobby stores. I think here in the U.S., Hobby Lobby is a good place to find it. But it is great for stitching sails as well. It just doesn't rot. The tackiness makes it, like I said earlier, easy to work, or easier to work with at times as it sticks back on itself there. Okay, we're getting close here. Got my knot hidden. Build it up pretty far. Okay, so spread it out so that it has good surface area at the end here. Stick it back on itself. Now you could tie it and hide the knot and everything. This has worked wonders for me with leather work. I just simply super glue it. Just soak it in super glue. Give it a second to dry. And it won't come apart. I am not laying that super glue back on the boat. I'll find a place to put it. It turned out really good. So we'll let that super glue dry and then prepare to raise this mast. But gotta do the other side. It's in need of some cleaning and some work.